welcome back to Spotlight on Newcastle County, which features all things Newcastle County, Delaware. You never know who we're going to talk to or where we're going to visit. Today we're going to feature the nonprofit organization called Heart in the Game, which provides potentially life-saving heart screenings for local students. As such, I'm pleased to welcome the Heart in the Game Executive Director, Greer Firestone. Thank you very much for being here today.
Wonderful being in Newcastle County TV studios. Thank you.
To begin with, could you tell us about why you started Heart in the Game and the personal connection that it has for you?
Two days after my daughter's graduation in 2011, she suffered sudden cardiac arrest. She was an amazing athlete in her high school. In fact, graduated with 15 varsity letters. She was a pretty good athlete. She collapsed in her mom's bed. Luckily, her brother happened to be there and gave CPR. But providentially, the Newcastle County EMS were coming up Concord Pike. Our home was only 4 minutes away. They were there in 4 minutes, paddled her 6 times, and basically saved my daughter's life. I was thinking, how could such an elite athlete suffer this thing with no family history at all? So I created Heart in the Game to give free EKG screenings to all middle and high school students in the state.
That's incredible. When were you able to formally organize Heart in the Game as a nonprofit and begin operating? We
started actually in only November of last year, but having lived in Brandywine 100 a long time, I collaborated with the superintendent from the Brandywine School District and also some pediatric cardiologists from Nemours. But the main collaboration was Tom Gordon of Newcastle County, because he not only gave us a grant to begin this whole thing, but because saving an 18-year-old, that was well known around DuPont Highway headquarters. So in addition to the free EKGs, the paramedics of Newcastle County give free training in hands-only CPR and the use of an AED, automated external defibrillator.
And how many free EKG screenings have you provided, and where do you normally conduct them?
We try to go district to district. We started off in Brandywine District, and it was in January. Our first screening went incredibly well. We had about 200 students from not only the Brandywine District, but also, because it's free to all Delaware students, we had 25 other schools represented.
That's amazing. How many students have you attracted to these events?
The first event was around 200 or so. The second event was about 220. Additionally, we actually strongly encourage the parents to come along with the kids for the hands-only CPR and the use of an AED, because an EKG, the electrocardiogram, can actually save one life, but knowing CPR and the use of an AED can save tens of lives.
Are there things going on besides the EKG screenings? Can you tell us about the other aspects?
Right. Well, one of the fascinating things that happened the first event, which is very important to us, we had a sport athlete from Brandywine High, no family history at all. We had some of the pediatric cardiologists on staff that day. The EKG came through. Oh, they said, let's see this again. And we did it again. The doc calls the parent over and says, what's the boy doing now? Well, he's playing, he's wrestling now. The doc said, you have to stop wrestling right now and you have to see a cardiologist next week. Well, 2 weeks later, the boy had a 9-hour operation at Nemours because of some electrical problem that we actually uncovered. A month later, we actually now had the opportunity to go through stress tests with him, and the docs gave him a complete bill of health. He's on the playing field now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So in April, we actually went to the Red Clay School District and had a screening there, again with the EKGs and the paramedics from Newcastle County.
And your next event is coming up soon, namely a screening scheduled at Christiana High School in September.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, we're so thrilled to have so many quick events, and we've only been in operation since November. But we're going to be at the Christina School District, and in fact, that's great because it is an underserved community. and that's very important to us as well. EKGs in a pediatrician's office cost $150. We do it for free. It's not part of the physical. So therefore, if we can uncover the potential problem of having a child who has a structural or electrical problem and do it for free, then we are doing something well. In fact, the great thing about Christina District, and they have been so supportive, Melody, is that they actually, it's a Saturday event, but we are going to be, they're going to be actually picking up and busing kids from the downtown hubs for free to take them to Christiana High School for the event.
How many school districts have you worked with, and what kind of relationship have you built up with them?
Well, all the districts have been incredibly supportive. We now are actually hoping to go into the Middletown area for our 4th event, but so far 3, and every district, because it's a win-win for everybody, frankly. It's a free event, and actually it certainly can save lives as well. So we're looking at Middletown in Newcastle County as well. But it's all, to a great extent, because of Tom Gordon and what he's done for us with regard to giving us some grants to do these things. That has been incredibly important to us, and we certainly reach out and want to embrace him for what he's done for us so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that should just about do it for today's program. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I want to say that again, the EKG screenings and the CPR is free. All you have to do, we like to have online submissions. So for all you parents out there who want to make sure that your kids are safe, go to heartinthegame.org and then click on forms. And it's a small, it takes about 10 or 20 minutes or so to do the online submission. That comes to me, I print them out, and we actually are now all, then we'll be ready to go. A couple other things that are happening with regard to this event, though, which are different. We have middle school kids, and sometimes, even though an electrocardiogram is non-invasive, it's simply putting electrodes on your body to check the heart system. But middle school kids are like a bit scared. We're actually having Paws for People, those people that actually bring dogs, and kind of, it's going to maybe allay some of the fears for the kids. The other thing that's happening too, Melody, not this particular, well, in fact, it might be this event as well. Many of the Christina people actually go to Westside Healthcare for their healthcare purposes. We're going to bring them on as a partner. So they're going to be doing additional screenings as well for body mass index and also for glucose. So we're thrilled to have a new partner and have another leg to that stool that we're creating.
Well, thank you very much for being here today, Greer.
Thank you for having me, and I certainly appreciate this.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Spotlight on Newcastle County. Thank you for being with us today, and please keep it tuned to NCC TV for your news and information on Newcastle County, Delaware. This is Melody Kitchen. Take care.